This is Michael Popok, and you're on the new Legal AF MTN YouTube channel. Early voting has started. Hit subscribe. Help us build this channel with our bare hands and with your help. And I'm sitting at the intersection. MAGA versus MAGA. What is going on in California? We got a new lawsuit by Vem Miler. He's the guy that brought a loaded gun to a Trump rally. And he's apparently not only MAGA, but he is super MAGA and has even been involved with other MAGA who have suggested that perhaps taking out their fearless leader would be a good thing for the cause, suggesting that an assassination of Donald Trump is a good thing. Well, Vem Miler took that to heart and decided apparently to take a gun, a loaded gun, and fake driver's licenses and fake license tags on his pickup truck and go to the Coachella site to go hear Donald Trump. And what was a sheriff to do? So a sheriff's department deputy stopped him on the road on the way in and said, hey, this is my impersonation, my artist rendering. Hey, Mr. Miller, I see you got a fake license tag. I see you got a fake driver's license. I see you got fake passports. I see you have a real gun. I see you have a real scope. And I see you have a real high-powered ammunition. Maybe you should come talk to us down at the station. And then we had Sheriff Bianco. I'm not making these names up. Sheriff Bianco takes to the podium, and it turns out he's a MAGA Trumper who's against Gavin Newsom, his governor. And he takes it and says, well, everybody, we just stopped another potential assassination attempt. And Vem Miler is now sued Sheriff Bianco because he's been defamed and he's been intentionally emotionally distressed by all of this. Let me get this straight. A MAGA guy who shows up with a loaded handgun and a loaded high-powered rifle with high-powered ammunition, okay, who's supposedly a loyalist of Donald Trump, was injured emotionally by Sheriff Bianco, who's also MAGA Trumper, saying that he might have been involved with a plot for assassination. Now, I thought all that was crazy cuckoo, until I found some websites and some video clips of people like Ivan Racklin and Alex Jones, the famous Sandy Hook child massacre denier, who were positing on what was then InfoWars, an old podcast for Alex Jones. It's now been picked up by the family of Sandy Hook Elementary School in a bankruptcy proceeding because he owes $1 billion to them for defamation. They were actually saying out loud, an assassination, if Donald Trump was killed, that would be great for the cause, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd be terrible for him. It's Alex Jones. I'm like, are you madman? And then I found a photo of Vem Miler with Ivan Racklin, the self-proclaimed minister of retribution for Donald Trump, a former Army Green Beret officer, if you can believe it, and protege of Michael Flynn, who worked in PsyOps and intelligence. This guy also positing about the civil war that will ensue and the cleansing of America if Donald Trump is actually taken out. And then I read about a guy who shows up, who's supposedly MAGA, armed to the teeth to go attend Coachella. And now he's suing. Talk about a dog bites man. Now he's suing the MAGA sheriff because he's been defamed. I mean, you need a channel like Legal AF MTN to figure all this out as I sit at the intersection of law and politics. Now, look, I don't know. I know Vem Miler because he runs a couple of websites and a couple of profile accounts in which he tries to argue these, America happened and First Amendment and a whole bunch of super MAGA right-wing QAnon leaning type contributors have joined him over there. So do I think he was trying to take out Donald Trump? I really don't know. I didn't think so. I thought it was just a case of mistaken identity. Sheriff's Department. I'm sorry, Mr. Miller. We were thrown off by all of your fake IDs and your high-powered rifle about what your intentions were. So I don't fault Bianco for saying, we just stopped another bad guy. Because who is he going to shoot? It's either Donald Trump up on the stage, or maybe it's other people, or maybe Democratic protesters that often show up at Trump rallies. Who is he going to take out? He didn't just do it for his. He even says, I don't know how to use these weapons. I believe in the Second Amendment, but I've never fired a weapon in my life. I'm not sure I totally believe that. And I thought that was the cover story until I caught the clip of Alex Jones kibitzing with Ivan Racklin. And then I found the photo of Ivan Racklin with Vem Miler. And I got Ivan Racklin saying, yeah, the death of Donald Trump would be good for the movement. So maybe somebody took him literally. Look, when you activate the sleeper cell of crazy, you don't know exactly how that's going to go, right? When you're an arsonist, not that I know this firsthand, but I do read. When you're an arsonist and you start a fire, you can't direct where that fire ends up. Let's say you're 500 yards away in a dry, open field, and you want to nail with fire, not with a missile, but with a fire that you've lit that house 500 yards away. You have as good a chance of burning down the town as you do hitting the house. You can't direct it that way. Same thing here. You activate the sleeper cell of crazy, you light that fire, you may be aiming over here, but it could easily burn down your entire world over there. And a part of that is what we're watching here. A fire that's uncontrollable. Crazy that's uncontrollable. Donald Trump tries to channel the crazy into activating and motivating his base to get him elected. But crazy is as crazy does, as that, to paraphrase that famous philosopher Forrest Gump. And you don't know where it's going to end up. And that's the problem with even thinking about voting for Donald Trump. Because you see how his weird stew of a brain works, right? One of the things, pardon me, you get to see when somebody runs for office is how his brain works. And in Donald Trump's case, I rhetorically ask, does it? Does his brain work? I mean, think about the major decisions that he's made since that bullet went whistling by his ear in Butler, Pennsylvania a couple of months ago. First decision, J.D. Vance. Second decision, join forces with RFK Jr. Third decision, join forces with Elon Musk, outsource my entire get out the vote operation to Elon Musk. How's that going? These are the major decisions. 4, don't prepare for the debate. 26 minutes in, focus on Haitians eating pets. Decision 5, double down on using the U.S. military on United States citizens who I consider to be the enemy within. And people, number 6, go on a, this is just 6 off the top of my head, go on a fake Fox town hall with just women. Is that even legal? With just women, including a lot of plants, a lot of ringers put there by Fox to seed the audience with pro-rabid Trump women. That's a special breed, by the way, which I'll do a whole nother hot take on. The women who support Donald Trump. I mean, once you get past the women, he's molested, sexually assaulted, insulted, called ugly, called stupid, defamed, said he could grab their genitalia, said that they're retards. Once you get through that, who's left? Denied their ability to exercise reproductive rights, reduced them to second-class citizens, where 1 out of 3 women in America cannot exercise her right to choose. 1 out of 3. Once you get through that, like, who's left? I don't know. I like to look into these people's lives separately, but I won't do that here. So you've got this town hall where he says, and no irony at all, I don't think this was done intentionally or ironically. I think this is just how he thinks. He said he's the father, interesting choice of words, but you're talking about reproduction, the father of IVF, and he should be celebrated for that. Okay, first of all, you had been until about 10 minutes ago against any type of IVF treatment or any type of reproductive right treatment. And when Tim Walz, whose family used not IVF, but another one that's similar to that in reproductive circles, MAGA, and you attacked him, right? When talk about attacking the sanctity of the family and people's value and worth being tied to it. Kamala Harris doesn't have her own children, but she has stepchildren. In other words, she didn't have her own children, but yes, she has stepchildren. Oh, To Sarah Huckabee, she's not humble enough. To other people, she doesn't have values. To J.D. Vance, she's a childless cat lady that doesn't have the right to make decisions in America or to participate or to be at the table making policy decisions about values in America because she doesn't have children, right? Donald Trump takes away a woman's right to choose, installs on purpose people in the United States Supreme Court in order to reduce women to second-class citizenship, where 1/3 of women in America do not have the right to choose or bodily autonomy, right? And then attacks IVF. Then figured out that the attack was bad politically for him and tried to double back and try to support IVF, and now he's the father of IVF. How is he the father of IVF? He did not, his administration last time did not contribute huge dollars to the development of reproductive health treatments at all. And every time he sent a solicitor general into the court, it would be something that would be used to defeat the use of IVF. His followers don't want IVF or any type of reproductive health or reproductive science. They don't. Not the way they see fetal heartbeat and the living human being in a test tube. So you got this is what you're watching, right? Okay, and so so he can't control his trolls. He can't control them. Once he activates them, he doesn't know where they're going to go. He's just an arsonist with a giant can of gasoline and a dry field and a match and saying, oh, this ought to work. Don't let him anywhere near the White House. Not only your vote, get other people to vote, get other people to register, go to states where they need help knocking on doors and registering to vote. You don't have to be a resident of that state, registered in that state in order to do those kind of activities. You can work phone banks in different, if your state, this is easier than it used to be. 20 years ago, or when I was doing stuff for Obama, it was harder. But now with social media, everybody working from home, all the electronic and artificial intelligence stuff that we have at our disposal, databases and things, you can, from the comfort of your own home, you in a red state, who's that blue dot, can help in blue states or help in purple states or help in, or wherever it's important to get out the vote, the battleground states. Volunteer to help in Pennsylvania in some way. Volunteer to help in Georgia in some way, and in North Carolina in some way, and Wisconsin and Michigan and Ohio. We got to wrap them up. Kamala Harris wins Georgia and Pennsylvania. She crushes the life out of MAGA once and for all and puts everybody out of their misery of Donald Trump. You can make that happen from the comfort of your home in fill in the blank. New York, New Jersey, California, where it's all safe. Florida, where it's a little purple. Wherever you are, Wyoming, Nebraska, you're a Democrat. You want to do something? Go contact the Democratic Party in the states where it matters for your vote and help them in some way. Volunteer. They can use your hearts, your minds, your hands, your eyes, and everything else. Your computer, your phone. So until my next analysis of the intersection of law and politics, I'm also asking you for a vote. Vote for Legal AF MTN. We're 1 month old. We've got 225,000 subscribers. It's unheard of. We want to get to 250,000 by Halloween and beyond. And you can help us do it. And bring friends and family here and make them vote for Legal AF with the free subscribe button. And to my next content here or on the Midas Touch Network, I'm Michael Popok at The Intersection. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.